Hey guys, welcome back. The 9th episode of the series has finally arrived. I really feel like these videos just keep getting better and better. So here you go, the 9th episode of Agent Bankrupt, the first season. Today is the 15th of August, the 228th day of the year 2020. So that means there are 138 days left until 2021. This is episode 9 of Agent Bankrupt the first season, and there are 6 more episodes of this season coming out every single Saturday, so I recommend that you subscribe to be notified when I upload, not to mention that it helps my channel quite a bit. Okay, so a few weeks ago, I told you all that I would start a mini-series. I gave you guys 3 options, and after a vote, the option that got the most votes was, in the end, monthly specials. These videos will be posted on the last Wednesday of every month. I've chosen this day because it isn't too close to the days that I already upload, Saturday and Monday, and it's also at the end of the month. The first one of these videos will be posted on September 30th. The story this week is a story that involves the current pandemic, specifically regarding its effect on schools. I will also be discussing the online school that occurred after in-person school ended. It was the 18th of March, the last day of in-person school for the 2019 to 2020 school year. The first half of the day was relatively normal. We had a few tests, but nothing really out of the ordinary. Around lunchtime, rumors began spreading about the schools closing, but no real evidence was shown yet. Most of the teachers were unwilling to discuss it at the time. Fifth period was when the evidence to support the rumors began surfacing. We were working on a project that required us to be on our laptops, and someone in the class looked up if our state was actually going to close schools. What came up was a news article that discussed a relatively vague statement made by the governor, saying how if schools closed, then the number of cases in children would be minimized. In 7th period, my teacher said that she would be giving us online work for the rest of the year. And in 8th period, my teacher was handing out papers that would cover the work for the rest of the school year. At this point, everyone was convinced that schools would close, and confirmation came when the principal told us that we would need to get everything from our lockers and classrooms since we would not be coming back to school that year. Later that night, a call came from the superintendent where he told us that online schooling would be in effect for the rest of the year. Every day for the next 2 or 3 weeks, we had 8 assignments a day, 1 from each class. The only thing other than in-person school that I was involved in that was canceled was the Science Bowl that I was really looking forward to. Then, schools started getting calls that 8 assignments a day was too much, and that kids were not finishing, or, in some cases, not even doing the work at all. The solution was to, and I really do hate this, give only 5 assignments a week. Every day, we were told to do a pre-chosen assignment from a single class. Monday was math, Tuesday was science, Wednesday was gym, which no one really did because it was on the honor system whether you did it or not, Thursday was English, and Friday was electives, but only 1 or 2 electives ended up getting me to work, so I ended up with 3 assignments a week, which is definitely not enough to get a solid education. The only thing I really learned during this time was balancing chemical equations, and I already had some general knowledge of how to do that. Everything else was pretty much busy work. And on top of all of this, there was no Spanish class, which really sucked because the Spanish teacher was one of my favorites. Now, I know most people immediately blame the teachers for the lack of very much quality work, but I think the parents and students are also partly to blame in this situation. Some students didn't do their assignments, and some parents didn't make them do it. But some of the teachers do hold some of the blame here. For example, one of my brother's assignments was to measure the dining room with a freaking crayon. He's in 6th grade. He was also assigned to not talk for a day and then write a couple sentences about it. I know this whole section seemed a little bit negative, but at least now we know what doesn't work. So that's this week's story. I really do miss school and everything that came along with it, but quite a bit of my time is put into making videos now, and that's been keeping me busy recently for the most part. The feature comment this episode comes from the 8th episode of Agent Bankrupt the first season. This comment is from the real Daryl. Thank you to everyone who has been commenting on my videos. I read every single one, and feature some as well, so if you comment, you'll have quite a high chance to be featured in the next episode. This title of this video is The Big Announcement. I've already announced what I was referencing in this title in the announcement section of this video, so I suggest that you rewind the video if you, for some reason, missed that section, or just forgot about it. The puzzle this week was one of the many that was solved by the real Daryl. This puzzle, just like all the others, was to find the pattern to the series of numbers shown, as well as the next number in the sequence. The pattern this week was the digits of increasing 3-digit perfect square numbers, split up so the first 2 digits made a 2-digit number and the 3rd digit made a 1-digit number. A perfect square is a number that is another number multiplied by itself. A few perfect squares are 1 because 1 times 1 equals 1, 4 because 2 times 2 equals 4, and 16 because 4 times 4 equals 16. These perfect squares were 121, which is 11 times 11, 144, which is 12 times 12, 169, which is 13 times 13, and 196, which is 14 times 14. The missing number was the 6 in 196. Congratulations yet again to the real Daryl. You now have 4 solves in a row. This episode, I just want to say thank you to everyone who watches this series. I can't believe that it's already on episode 9, and that I'm already starting monthly specials. So until next time, on episode 10 of Agent Bankrupt, the first season.
Hey guys, welcome back. Yeah, welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back.